I threw him a fastball away, and he put it up in the left field bleachers. I knew he had the power. I just had never seen it from 60 feet 6 inches. He gave that little Babe Ruth stroll around the bases.
I'll always tell Jim Thome, I say, there's not a ballpark in America that can hold big Jim Thome. And that was the truth. I mean, he hit him out of all the ballparks. He didn't get cheated.
Hits this one a mile.
You know, when Jimmy went up to the plate, there was not any two-strike approach. You know, he swung hard.
He was just out there playing. He wasn't looking to be the guy that everybody noticed. Of course, all the home runs, you had no choice.
And I remember one day, Charlie Manuel said to him, "Hey son, let me tell you something. You are 6'3", 6'4" guy. You better start swinging for the fences."
And I saw Roy Hobbs when he walked up to the plate, put his bat out like this and kind of pointed, put his bat down here and hung it kind of out front. And I looked over at Thome and I said, "That's you from now on."
It's gone.
Watching him come to the plate, it was so scary because I knew what kind of hitter that he was. I was so scared of that guy because he was a monster.
Long drive, deep left, way back, go!
You have as exciting a team as we will ever see in the game of baseball.
The Indians have done it again!
I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again.
I don't have to explain my feelings toward Cleveland and the fans. You know, I'll always cherish the time that I had there.
You only get one chance at a payday like that, and I think you've got to take it.
This was a very, very difficult decision.
As a free agent, you had the right. Jim chose to go somewhere else.
It feels so good to be home again, in this ballpark where it all began.
That's one of the good things about Jimmy Thome. What you see is what you get.
In January of 2018, Jim Thome anxiously received the call from the Baseball Writers Association of America that every baseball player dreams of.
Hello, may I speak with Jim Thome, please?
This is him.
Jim, this is Jack O'Connell with the Baseball Writers Association in New York. I'm calling to let you know that the baseball writers have elected you to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jack.
Thome, one of only 8 players in Major League Baseball history to hit more than 600 career home runs, was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, to reside among the game's greatest players. And he did so on his first ballot of eligibility.
You have no idea what this means, and I am so grateful, and thank you so much for the call. It's everybody's dream.
To make it to Cooperstown is an incredible accomplishment. To do so on your first ballot is extraordinary.
You're really proud that you've got a plaque not far from Babe Ruth, from Mickey Mantle, from DiMaggio to Gehrig, to the list goes on, Musial, Hank Aaron. To be in a gallery with a museum with those incredible names is, gosh, that's the ultimate. But it's also great to have people say, pretty good guy, good teammate, and that's what's great.
Our Cleveland teams, I've heard people say we like to hit. Yeah, I would say we love to hit. On our team, we might not have the most perfect individuals because a lot of them, we'd get in some fights amongst ourselves and things like that. But when the game started, we was game on. We were serious. Everybody there wanted to hit.
Just how good were those Indians' offenses in the mid-1990s? Jim Thome regularly batted in the bottom third of the lineup.
You had Lofton at the top of it. You had Vizquel. You had Baerga, Eddie Murray. You had Bell. Sorrento was in there. And the bottom 3 guys, Alomar, Manny, and Thome.
I've got a lineup that had Ramirez hitting 8 and Jimmy hitting 9 on one of them, and then on another one I've got that has Jimmy hitting 8 and Manny hitting 9.
That was a lineup that everybody say, how are we going to pitch to those guys? Even a number one pitcher or number two pitcher, they say, I'm going to have a tough day today. Our lineup was unbelievable.
You almost had a Hall of Famer, much less an all-star at every position. And I think it was capped off by the fact that in '95 they won 100 games in a strike-shortened season, but 27 were last at bat wins. I mean, that's unthinkable when you even look at it now with all the great teams we've seen since that time, whatever city we're talking about. Nobody wins 27% of their games in last at bat fashion.
In that lineup that we had, every inning, we could win this. If it was a tie ball game and you were pitching in the late innings or anything, even extra innings, all these guys, man, were super good. Jim, he had a little bit better knack for it than a lot of guys.
When Thome and Albert Bell hit in the 8th inning or in the 9th, we know something was going to happen. Those guys was clutch guys. Those guys was like, when the game was on the line, we was losing for 2, we got 2 men on base. They always come through with a big homer, Albert Bell too. But Thome, it was special because he wasn't just a homer guy. He was a line drive hitter, with average, with power, and bring RBIs too.
You credit so many people around you. It's not just your parents. It's the Mike Hargroves, the Dick Jacobs, the foundation, your teammates, all the great teammates you had. Because ultimately, you had to be around good people for that to continue. And that's pretty cool. When you look up, when we're all sitting around 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what's cool is that I can pick the phone up and call Baerga, and if I ever needed anything, he'd give it to me. Sandy, same thing. Omar, that's truly the relationship now that we've created. We're all brothers, and isn't that special when a guy can pick the phone up, or you can, and they can say, hey, I'll meet you here. Or it's just like you think back and it's like, boom, you've been back in that time together again. That's what's cool.